Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. Hey everyone, it's James. My wife and I recently had our third child, and while we were in the hospital we played Uno to help pass some of the time there. But from that, it made me think about a previously unreleased piece from the conversation I had with Lewis Morris back in October of 2020, and how we took a bit of a tangent talking about this card game. In this mini episode, you'll learn a little bit more about why we did that and why Uno means so much to us, as well as the steps we take to try to harness some of our impulses for constant creation. Since Lewis and I had our chat about 16 months ago, he has put out 4 beat tapes, half a dozen singles, some of which are part of a very cool project idea called the Warpath, and a brand new mixtape that dropped last month entitled Valedictorian, which you'll hear the track Pipebomb from this at the end of the episode. I highly recommend you check out his incredible catalog of music, and you can do that by visiting lewismorris.me. Enjoy!
Sorry if I'm looking down a couple times. I got Uno cards.
No. Why do you have Uno cards?
Well, Uno cards are so you know, like people have like fidget toys, right?
Oh yeah.
Uno cards are that for me, where I just kind of like to have something in my hands, and
yep.
It's Uno cards because I can kind of you know mess with them without having to pay attention to them, and also I use them a lot during football games, you know, when I'm watching like Patriots games, and I get really anxious during them, so I end up like playing Uno cards. I consider these my lucky Uno cards, which is funny because I don't believe in luck at all. So yeah, So, yeah.
Why is it specifically Uno for a reason, or like why not just a regular deck of cards? Are you actually playing Uno in some solitary way, or like is it
well, Uno kind of has a special place in my heart, right? Because I remember I used to put in my bio that I was a 3-time Uno world champion. Which is not true. I'm not a 3-time Uno world champion. It's just a joke to see if people are paying attention.
Yeah.
And if they are, they'll ask, really? And I'll be like, yeah, you can Google it. And then they Google it and then don't see my name anymore.
Yeah.
So, and
we got to get that up on Wikipedia then, man. You know, like,
right?
And Lewis Morris, 3-time world champion, and he happens to be a rapper and prolific beatmaker, but Uno champion.
Right? And Uno was actually how I met my partner, because our first date was meeting up in a park with, you know, her dog, which is now our dog. Mm-hmm. And she challenged me to a game of Uno, and she brought Uno cards. And we played, and she won. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's rad. No, my wife and like her entire family is like really big into games, but number one, don't have the best memory, so I'm not remembering exactly when it was, but I do remember like early on in our relationship, like we played Uno. We actually have this like they make a waterproof Uno set, so we like have one that we just like keep in like our beach bag, so we just, you know, always have it with us. But yeah, we played a ton of Uno. Like going to music, we've been to a ton of music festivals, and we played a lot of Uno because, as I was saying, she's like pretty deep into games like Catan and all these like, you know, like, you know, you need to be like a gamer to kind of be like involved in that kind of stuff. And I think too much in general, like period. I overthink things. I'm just like, my mind is just constantly going. So if I'm playing a game, I don't want to like think about like strategy and stuff like that. I just want kind of like a mindless game. And I'm not saying that Uno was mindless, but there's like, you know, just some part of it that's like just there. And I'm not like having to be playing this board game that's like, I need to think 6 steps ahead and stuff like that. Like I just want to relax, you know? So we play a lot of Uno and
Ingenious is a really fun game to do. That's like you can only think like the next move ahead. It's like, all right, cool.
A lot of what makes Uno fun, and the reason why I personally like it, because it is that kind of, it's entirely luck. And to say that you're a 3-time Uno World Champion is ridiculous, because it requires no skill to win.
Just how they were shuffled,
Yeah, exactly. So and it's a fun game to just approach, and when you win, you can talk all kinds of shit.
Oh, and I
usually do. But in the end, this is luck. And if I had gotten like a red card instead of a blue card, I would have lost this game and someone else would have won. But I didn't, so I won. So,
yeah. My wife does not like losing at all. So, and she usually doesn't. But when I do win, I try to relish those times, the few times that happens. But that's really cool, man. I dig that. It's been just a fun thing to have in a relationship, and something that I hadn't had with like previous partners as well. But it's something that I really love about her and about her family, and just it's also just helpful. Like what you're saying, I think that we can kind of connect on just like needing to do stuff. I'm not very good. I actually realized a couple of years ago that I never stop moving, which probably isn't good, but like as a drummer, like I'm always like tapping my feet and always have like beats in my head, which I don't think is a bad thing, because I think that like sort of subconsciously I've gotten better over time, just because I just am always like moving and like having my muscles move and stuff like that. But it's also like a weird realization that I'm like a shark, and like I'm never, like if I try to sit still, I get like really anxious and like I feel like I have to like do something, so like move something, so.
Yeah, I totally feel that, man. It's the idle hands thing,
Yeah, I'm just like, oh man, I need to
do something, and it's like, no, you don't actually have to. You don't. My partner is always like that. Like where I feel like I have to do where I feel like I have to keep moving, or she feels like she has to keep moving, and we just have to remind ourselves to just kind of slow down. It's okay, all that.
Yeah, just trying to live in the moment. Like
exactly.
I think like where are my feet is a good like mental exercise of like just visualize where your feet are, and so well, anyway, that was a fun tangent. Thanks for doing that, but I guess I don't want to take up more of your time. This will be the extra bonus, the hidden bonus episode of Lewis and James talk about card games and Uno for 10 minutes,
Yeah, no, I would want to listen to that. Yeah, definitely. Put that
out. Cool.
Can't stop the vision. Man's got the feeling like running a marathon, and he's this close to the finish. Ain't no coaching ambition. Either it's there or it ain't, but I'm somewhere near the oar, laying on the ground, counting lights after taking a loss. Might get polite applause, not yet a superstar with their names planted on walls. I know that's fucking levels, but this ascension feels like a motherfucking treadmill. It stasis of the mental, this ambition, it's a rental. Every flame dims eventually. Niggas march to the beat, I don't forget to credit me. Humble to a fault, don't get it twisted, I'm the fucking shit. Only shit y'all niggas got over me is the budget to buy all of them likes and them clicks, so get in the ring. I know for a fact, I'm knocking y'all on your ass. Your cats ain't seeing me, whether it be the pens or the pads. Don't give a fuck about the accolades that's padding your stats. Mad and ass motherfuckers can't do shit until it's garbage time. Y'all bunch of Joe Flacco's on the rhymes. I am not the mixing, I am not impressing. I do not believe you when you say that you're the best. Y'all are not elite, I promise you. Y'all the lions, I'm the hyena. I got a scrap for whatever I eat. Y'all be the Cenas, the Hogans and the Ortons. Y'all win cause you're supposed to. I fight because I have to. It's just another job, motherfucker. But y'all don't hear me, y'all don't hear me. I'm screaming a lot of both ears. I'm making stereo. I'm making very no play. Ain't in my mood, set my eyes on the title. I promise that I'm a true threat. Expect me, motherfucker. But y'all don't hear me, y'all don't hear me. I'm screaming loud in both ears. I'm making stereo. I'm making very no play. Ain't in my mood, set my eyes on the title. I promise that I'm a true threat. Pipebomb. Older, colder, a chip on my shoulder, grew malignant. Tragedy, beholders got no vision. Their labels can be a prison. My anxiety's +1. A handicap match where I'm crushed. Feel the rush come envelop me. Pushing if what I'm feeling is jealousy. Give a fuck about the money or clout. I want my props, that's the problem. I can't pay bills with the proven nods from the crowd. Time to fuck the line that got it and dissolve. All the things that makes me me. I beat the fucking sponsors, tap dance. I landmines rough, elbows are monsters. The money might go up, but the flame is still dimming. So the line between winning and taking losses start to blur. They don't seem so different. When I lay down my back, on my eyes toward God, I'm making gunner tight beats. I'm still doing the job, cause no one's busting down my door with a 360 deal and a check to buy my soul. Forever I'm marketable, at least that's known. Scraps are wrapped in poems drawn about this house, derelict Blackstone. I'm better than my record, but it's a battle to prove it. A war to believe it, even when I was a flatline, I felt like I was the weakest. So every single moment is another opportunity to prove that I'm the dopest. Louis Morris is the illest, no need to conceal it. I'm coming near with this mic, ain't doing another job, motherfucker.
But y'all don't hear me, y'all don't hear me. I'm screaming loud in both ears, I'm making stereo. I'm making very no quit. Ain't in my mood, set my eyes on the title. I promise that I'm a true threat. Expect me, motherfucker, but y'all don't hear me, y'all don't hear me. I'm screaming loud in both ears, I'm making stereo. I'm making very no quit. Ain't in my mood, set my eyes on the title. I promise that I'm a true threat. Pipebomb.
Nah, but y'all don't hear me though. I'm screaming loud in both ears, I'm making stereo. I'm making very no quit. Ain't in my mood, set my eyes on the title. I promise that I'm a true threat. Expect me, motherfucker, but y'all don't hear me though. I'm screaming loud in both ears, I'm making stereo. I'm making very no quit. Ain't in my mood, set my eyes on the title. I promise that I'm a true threat. Pipebomb.
You put it in the hands of a dangerous man like myself, and it becomes a pipe bomb. These words that I speak, spoken by anybody else but me, are simply words strung together and loosely formed into sentences. When I say, I mean what I mean, I say, and they become